All right, the discovery of atomic theory starts right here. Right, in 1870s, the scientists start to want to know what atoms made of. So what they try to do, they put into a discharge tube and break atoms apart. Think about this though. Imagine if you want to know how a car functions, you take them apart and look inside. If you want to know how a phone or your laptop works, you take them pieces apart and look inside, right? So same concept here. The discharge tube is used to break atoms apart, and then so we can take a look what's going on in there. Okay, so the first, there are a lot of scientists, but one of the main one who used a discharge tube at a time is JJ Thomson. So Joseph John Thomson, an English chemist. Basically, a discharge tube is a gas-filled tube equipped with electrodes. So this electrode right here, you can run electrical current through it and it will emit light. Basically, this is how a neon light works. Okay, nothing different. So they emit lights right here. You run electrical current and they start glowing. All right. So what happened is he found out that once he do this, atoms got broken apart. Right, so proton, neutron, electron, but they don't know yet. Let's say they don't know yet what's going on in there. Okay, so proton, neutron, electrons break apart, and JJ Thomson found that, well, there is a particle that is coming out from cathode, which is a positive end, a positive pole. All right, and he called it a cathode ray. Now, let me ask you real quick, what is the charge of the cathode ray? This is particle, of course, right? But what is the charge of this particle? Think about this. I'll give you more hints. Some of you probably know, but if you not know yet, let's think about right here. So we have proton, neutron, electrons. They're gonna have charge in there, all right? And a particle that run, so proton, neutron, electrons are floating around in here. Break them apart, like they're small. They got broken apart, all right? A particle that run toward the positive pole. This is positive pole. A particle that runs toward positive pole. What is the charge of that particle? Negative. Good. Positive, negative, they attract, right? Same charge, they repel, but opposite charge, they attract. So this cathode ray is gonna be a negative particle. But they don't know yet what is it. It is an electron. Okay. Well, we know that's an electron. All right, at pretty much the same time, Eugen Goldstein, so he's a German scientist, don't call him Eugene, it's kind of weird, so Eugen Goldstein, discovered that the particle, there is not only the cathode ray that coming out, the negative that coming out, but also it come from the opposite side, right? There's the tube also emit light from the opposite direction of the cathode ray. What is that? What is that particle? That's a proton, right? There's a positive charge there. What does Goldstein discover? A positively charged particle, but he doesn't know yet that's a proton. Okay. All right, we're gonna go back to JJ Thomson. A year later, so 1897, further study on the cathode ray. JJ Thomson put the magnetic field right here and also electrical field, and he found that the cathode ray can be deflected because it got charged. Right, can be deflected by a magnetic field and electrical field. If it's for electrical field, the deflection it goes toward the positive pole, okay, because it's an electron. And by measuring how much heat the cathode ray generated, how much the direction and can be bent by magnet, the direction of the deflection right here can be bent. He was able to measure the mass of these rays. Okay, and he come up with the mass per charge, right? Mass per charge ratio of an electron, and he found out that this mass per charge is 1,000 times lighter than the smallest element in the periodic table, which is hydrogen. Spoil you real quick, a little bit. Spoiler alert. So hydrogen atom consists of one proton and one electron, right? One proton and one electron, and a proton is 1,000 times heavier than electron. Let's give you some example, some easy numbers. So let's say if electron weight one unit, proton weight 1,000 unit. Okay, so hydrogen atom weight 1,001, and this right here, this is kind of a mass of electron, right? Mass of electron, and mass electron is 1,000 times lighter than the mass of proton, basically. Right? So he found out that he actually discovered an electron, and he called this particle corpuscle, but we call them electron, basically. Okay, and in the early 20th century, we knew that there were both positive particle and negative particle in an atom, right? So JJ Thomson discovered a negative particle, and Eugen Goldstein discovered a positive particle. The next question is, how do they arrange, right? How do they stay together in an atom? And JJ Thomson used his imagination, come up with this. Well, what he knows is, overall, the charge of an atom is 0, which is neutral. Everything that we touch and we see, they have a 0 charge. So positive and negative, they cancel out, right? So the positive particle and the negative particle have to arrange somehow to that all the charge got canceled out, basically. And he came up with this. So first of all, the positive particle is a sphere of positive charge. The whole thing is a sphere of positive charge. Okay, and the negative charge, the corpuscle, or what we call electrons, are floating inside. They're floating, diffusing electron inside. Okay, and he tried to compare to something that they are familiar, that he is familiar with, and he is an Englishman, and he likes dessert, so he come up with the plum pudding model. Here we go. So that looks similar, right? But we are in America. We don't really have. Do we have plum pudding model? Plum pudding dessert? I don't even know what that is. So I don't know. Probably a popular dessert in England. Anyway, so I'm just curious. So this how I try to think about things in a funny way. What if just thinking? What if JJ Thomson was born in United States? He's an American citizen. What would he call his model? Some of you can imagine, can guess that. Chocolate chip cookies, right? I mean, just like that, right? All right, concept test before we go further. Who discovered electron? A. Eugen Goldstein. B. Albert Einstein. C. JJ Thomson. And D. Snoop Dogg. JJ Thomson, the JJ Thomson. Okay, Eugen Goldstein, the positive particle, he doesn't know yet that's a proton. Albert Einstein hasn't do anything yet. No, not there yet. Hasn't been born yet. Snoop Dogg, you know. All right, going further, the next video.